Our next presenter is Sarah Ruhi from Altmetric.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, wow, standing room only, awesome. It's good to be Altmetric. We start with an A, which means we get your attention while you're still awake. My name is Sarah Ruhi. I'm the Director of Business Development at Altmetric, based in Washington, D.C. Most of you, I think, are familiar with us. We're a data science company, part of the digital science portfolio of companies dedicated to tracking attention to research outputs in non-traditional spaces. So most of your core stakeholders, especially if you're producing journal content, care about citations, impact factor, H-index, all of that. We're actually looking at the universe beyond that. So attention that a peer-reviewed article, a data set, a clinical trial, a piece of code, anything that is part of the research lifecycle, attention it receives in a variety of platforms ranging from social media to Wikipedia to gray literature, policy documents, news, and so forth. Many of you are familiar with the circular donut. That is the badge that over 6,000 journals globally are using, over 100 publishers. Currently use our data. Most of you are using the data as a author and reader benefit, so come publish with us. Not only are we going to give you great exposure to your research, but we'll provide you with these additional metrics beyond just the citation information from Scopus or Web of Science. And a lot of the publishers in the room, you're doing an amazing job not only making the altmetrics that we provide available, providing alternative metrics like your usage data, abstracts, downloads, any of the sort of proprietary platform information you've been sharing as well. So that's a bit about what we do and where we come from. And I was going to turn on the timer, and I think I forgot. All right. So books. We've been doing this largely for journal articles, increasingly for data sets. Dryad and Figshare are the two major data places that we track. But if really the rule is if it has a persistent identifier attached to it, any output can be tracked. And really the next stage for us was doing this in a wholesale way with books and ISBNs, taking into account obviously the complexity that comes with tracking chapter level and book level metrics. The need for this is pretty obvious, especially for those of you who work in the humanities and social sciences. Often the journal article is not going to be the primary mode of communication. It's not how you're measured. If you do publish in a book, if you publish a chapter, you need ways of measuring the impact of that, and that's largely where we've seen the drive for looking at attention to books. So the trajectory of this is too small, I apologize. The trajectory of this was pretty basic. We started with journal articles, we expanded to other kinds of research outputs like data sets and clinical trials. Springer came and partnered with us on a project called Bookmetrics, where we integrated the data we were capturing for their chapters and books into the data that they were capturing on their platform to provide a unique offering for Springer eBooks users. And that led us to the final iteration that you'll find now of book tracking that we do around ISBN. And so very similarly to the details pages you may see on journal sites, when you click on the donut for a book, you will get the attention for the entire book, but it's also broken out by chapter. And in addition to adding this kind of functionality for books, we're also expanding the sources that we track that are more relevant for books. So you can look out for news in the coming months of sort of expanded database offerings as a result of that. How am I doing?
Yeah, 122.
126, all right. So that's just a screenshot, let's skip it. So cool. Yeah, you can go find that on your own, I'm sure. So really, publishers, if you're producing books, this is kind of the natural next step. Your authors are gonna see them on a journal's abstract page. They're gonna wonder why they don't have it on a book's page, particularly when you're looking at anthologies or series where I just published a chapter. I wanna know what my chapter got. This is gonna be a pretty much a must-have to kind of complement your offerings that you're already giving with respect to the journal articles. Your users, I think, are still going to see the same value, and increasingly with the ubiquity of both the Altmetric badge and the small brick that researchers are using, it's becoming one of those things that I think if they don't see it, they think something is missing. So hopefully you'll get in touch with us about taking a look at Altmetric books for your book details for your books. Okay. Last thing. You're going to cut me off, I know. So the source that we are really excited about that this is going to be relevant for is tracking syllabi. So actually being able to tell an author, your article has actually been cited in a syllabus, your paper, your book has been cited in a syllabus by another researcher. That's coming soon, so help your authors tell their story now with their books. I'm done. Am I done?
Perfect.
I'm done. Thank you.